Time now for Movies and Money with Erik Childress, our movie critic. Always a pleasure to have Erik on our show because he gives us a look at the flicks that are coming out to the box office this weekend. But first we want to back it up and talk about The Jungle Book, which is still riding high.
Yeah, as we mentioned, a huge year for Disney, and The Jungle Book just continues that little tradition this year. Over $525 million worldwide. It's going to approach $300 million in the U.S., and if it does so, it would actually be the 16th film that Disney has put out that has grossed over $300 million in the U.S. No other studio has even 10 yet, so that'd be a huge another notch in their great history. And then we had it trampled all over Universal's The Huntsman: Winter's War this week.
You saw that coming.
I did see it coming. Yeah, I don't know who this movie was made for, especially after you see it. I really don't know who it was made for, and I don't think anyone was really clamoring for a prequel/sequel to the Snow White movie that was a disappointment at the box office for Universal a few years ago. And like I said, I think everyone just had it in their contracts. They had to make this thing, and it's going to turn out to be one of their biggest bombs in a little over a year.
Biggest bombs.
Yeah.
Well, coming out this weekend, Keanu.
Oh, what's up, bro?
I'm here because my place got broken into. Has anyone shady come by here?
I mean, the 17th Street Blips.
The 17th Street Blips. Okay, where are they?
17th Street.
Yeah, and Keanu is kind of an anomaly this week. I'm kind of curious to see how this movie's going to do. It's certainly been very well advertised by Warner Brothers. It premiered at the South by Southwest Film Festival earlier this year, which is where I saw it, and it had kind of a tepid response. The audience was with it in the beginning, and but by the time the movie was over, it kind of sort of wore out its welcome. I mean, Key and Peele have been geniuses of sketch comedy. They've been doing some of the best sketch comedy over the last few years. Their show has ended. Now they're in feature films, and this one seems to fall into the trap of a lot of people who do sketch comedies, in that they take one idea from a sketch and they sort of pad it out over 90 minutes. So by like the 15th time, these sort of mild-mannered guys are trying to act tough, and the 10th time they have a George Michael reference and reverence for him. It really kind of starts to wear thin, but I think it's going to do the best out of the new releases this weekend.
What do you think about Ratchet and Clank also coming out this weekend?
Not a whole lot. I have not actually seen a preview of this movie. Maybe it's being shown on a lot of the kids stations, but it's being kind of dumped into theater. This is sort of a weekend with sort of the calm before the storm. The summer movie season starts next week, and so Ratchet and Clank looked like it was just it's being kind of dumped into theaters. It's based on a video game animation, and I haven't seen anything for it. I'd be surprised if the film even makes $5-6 million this weekend.
Lousy weekend possibly.
Yeah.
There. All right, and Mother's Day, because it is almost Mother's Day.
It is, and Gary Marshall, the great Gary Marshall, has been making these sort of holiday-themed ensemble comedies over the last few years. He did Valentine's Day, he did New Year's Eve. I think next he's got Arbor Day and Flag Day coming up. But with Mother's Day, yeah, of course, or am I? But it's a big cast. Julia Roberts, Kate Hudson, Jason Sudeikis, a really big cast. But I don't know if, again, this is sort of the calm before the storm. Everyone is sort of waiting to give their money to Captain America next week, and there hasn't been a lot for women audiences recently, so it might sneak in there, maybe get into the teens a little bit. I think it's possible, but I think you might see this in the low end, maybe just before the teens.
Did you like any of the previous films that were done in this?
No.
I didn't think you did.
No, Valentine's Day and New Year's Eve are probably two of the worst ensemble comedies. Up there, What to Expect When You're Expecting is another one. Gary Marshall didn't do that, but they're all sort of in the same league, and they're all pretty awful, and I hear really bad things about this one as well.
I was okay with New Year's Eve for some reason. Let's move on and talk about what is coming up for you, and that is the Chicago Film Critics Association is having a big film festival. So how can people get involved in that, and what do you have to offer? Because it sounds like it's going to be a big year for you.
Yeah, this is our 4th year putting on this festival that I started in 2013 with Chicago Film Critics Association. It's our 4th year. It's called the Chicago Critics Film Festival, and it's at the Music Box Theater, the great movie palace in Chicago. And this is a film festival curated entirely by Chicago's film critics. We seek out films. We pick the films we really want to show off to audiences. Some of them don't even have distribution yet, and we really want to give a forum and a chance for audiences to see these great films that they probably don't get a chance to see because they're at Sundance or South by. We go to these festivals. We bring them back here for the Chicago premieres. And if you go to the Music Box Theater website or ChicagoCriticsFilmFestival.com, tickets and passes are available on sale right now. We have over 35 feature films and short film programs that are going to be playing at the fest. A full week week of special guests. Craig Robinson and director Chad Hartigan are going to be there on opening night. Martin Starr from Silicon Valley is going to be there closing night. And we're announcing new guests throughout the week, all up until its release on May 20th when we kick it off. May 20th to the 26th is going to be a full week of fantastic premieres here in Chicago.
Well, for now, Eric, that's a wrap.
Thank you.